Hello, everyone. So, welcome back to SkateProud Chats. Today, we're gonna have a chat with Amber Glenn. I'm letting you hear that picture. And I'm so excited to have Amber. She is a figure skater from the USA, bronze medalist, and she is going to come very soon into the chat with us. And yeah, so please go ahead and click the questions section if you want to leave her a question or anything, so we can check it out together. And I'm welcoming Amber into the chat right now. Just waiting until she accepts the connection.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Amber. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Just getting back from the lake.
Oh, wow. That's why you're in the car.
Yes. Yeah, I had to find somewhere with some type of signal. So sorry, it's, not the most luxurious, background, but it'll do.
You're looking great. So, yeah. So
But
where are you right now? And
I'm
where
in
did you go?
Missouri right now, actually. Yeah. So,
In Missouri, you said. Nice, nice. So you went with family or friends?
yeah. Sorry. I went with a few friends, just, amidst all the chaos in the world right now, it's nice to get some peace and try some new things outside of, the norm.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And how is the skating situation during this period? Have you been like training a little bit, or were you like stuck at home most of the time?
Yeah, I mean, I was stuck at home for almost 2 months, but with all the right safety precautions and everything, I was able to get back to training almost a month ago. This
Uh-huh.
well.
Well, that's pretty good compared to other countries that there is no still even ice available, right? But yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and so Amber, you're currently bronze medalist of the USA Championships from 2019. Is that correct? That's what I'm checking on the Wikipedia.
It
So
really?
you tell us.
Uh-oh.
Of the classic US.
Oh, U.S. International Classic. Yes. Sorry.
That's correct.
That you're talking about nationals. I was like,
Okay. And so tell us a little bit, what's your national level at the moment? How was your last result, and what were the internationals that you've competed the past season, like that were remarkable, let's say?
so last season, I had the International Classic in Salt Lake City. I placed third, which is my first senior international medal, which was really exciting. I had gotten a few on the AGP circuit back in the day, but I hadn't gotten one at the senior level. It was always like fourth or fifth. So having that was very exciting.
Yeah.
And then I went on to compete at both Skate America and Cup of China last year.
That was your first Grand Prix season?
Yes, it was my first full Grand Prix.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
That's amazing, yeah. So basically your career is just taking off.
Yes, yeah.
So how old are you?
20. I'm 20 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing, yeah. So yeah, who are your, like, do you have like any training mates that are also at the international level? I don't know, like other figure skaters that we may know.
Yeah, I have Ashley Kane and Timothy Leduc, and they are, U.S. national champion pair team. And, Tim is an openly gay man. He is incredible. Yeah. Helped me so much. Just being able to...
That's amazing, and it's actually where we want to get to. And it seems like you are training in such a great environment and with good friends. So yeah, getting into that part, by what I've read on the internet, it's like a story about that you're considered the only female skater from the USA actively competitive that is openly as considered as like bisexual, pansexual, and there's a story behind that that we don't really know, and I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, so it's so funny because back last year, I had gotten kind of the opportunity to come out, I guess. So people like friends, family already knew, and I wasn't hiding from anyone. But a LBGTQ Dallas magazine slash newspaper came in to the rink, and they wanted to ask about Ashley's training mates and about what about them inspires us. So when they started asking me questions, they're like, okay, what about Ashley inspire you? And with Ashley, I've known her for over 10 years. She's been such a great role model for me, and I've always looked up to her. And with Tim, I how he's helped me truly be able to express myself, and he's been there for me when I have struggles of like accepting myself and others accepting me. And with that, they're like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I am a bisexual woman, and it can be hard sometimes with the stereotypes that come with that. And Tim's very accepting and very helpful with that. And then they asked, oh, can we put in the article that you are, part of the LGBTQ community, since this is a LGBTQ magazine? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So it was just a quote about how they inspire me. And it said like, and this helps Amber Glenn, an openly bisexual, figure skater. And news outlets just took that quote and just ran with it. And it just started going everywhere. And it was right before the holidays. And it was right before nationals. And it just went. And I was just so shocked. I was like,
You were obviously, this is, I think, is a common thing. You do not expect the boom of the news when especially if you were feeling like confident and that you were not really thinking farther than that, right? Than what it was going to happen afterwards. And yeah, it's interesting. So you were just basically having a conversation with them, and then it just popped up in an article, and it just blown away everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it was just so strange because one of the things that inspired me was Karina. You know who Karina is.
Yeah.
And she had written, I don't know if everyone's seen it, but she wrote a song or a poem with her girlfriend and posted on YouTube. And it was this huge thing, and it really blew up. She was one of the first, female figure skaters to come out. And, she retired last year and is doing her own now. But, she did this big thing and came out in this huge way and inspired so many people. And I loved that. But I didn't quite want to do something that big. So I was like, okay, well, that got a lot of attention. Maybe if I just mention it a little bit, it won't have the same kind of that. I mean, I'm not writing a song. It's fine. It's not gonna.
that was a big gesture of hers to do that. I think for sure she had a big purpose of helping others, and probably help you indirectly. And yeah, it's very interesting. And one thing that I want to get into is what you mentioned is about the stereotype. So figure skating, unfortunately, people have this stereotype of that the male skaters are gays, which is not always like that. And the thing is, at the same time, it turns into a stereotype of the female skater is straight. And there's no other ways. And there's not many voices out there of you guys, openly coming out or talking about your situation. And it's really unfortunate that people have these stereotypes, and that at the same time, I think this creates sort of a pressure on you, even worse, because you don't even think, you might not even think that you fit in this, probably, right? Because there's this stereotype that you are supposed to be straight, and then the guys that figure skate are supposed to be gays, which is also pressure. Like, it's really wrong, all this. So I think the story of Karina, that we will have her next week, by the way, and your story, and it's really important for other figure skaters to see that that you guys are there, and you all are also a role model as a figure skater for them. And yeah, it's a quite interesting story that and this kind of happened recently, back in last year. When
Yeah.
was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so this is what we are here to talk about, because we don't have that many voices like yours, and I think it's really inspiring to hear, and to also see that you as a figure skater were inspired by others, like your figure skaters teammates and team. And I think it's all about the sense of this community to help others and putting it out there. And here I go to the next part, like, what do you think, like, from your side, like, talking about this, what do you think you can help with to other figure skaters, or even other athletes that are from different disciplines, you know? What do you want to contribute with?
Yeah. My whole thing was one of the reasons why I'm a bit more timid, just lay it all out there and truly be myself, was, of course, like this, I was scared of being judged. Everyone is, even though we are every time we go out to compete, I was scared to be judged for, showing who I truly am. And I was nervous that people weren't going to accept it, that people would see me differently or not like me as a skater because of it. And it took me so long to just get to the point to where, if they don't accept me for who I am, why do I care what they think? Like, I shouldn't, it doesn't matter if they don't like me because of who I love and who I choose to be with, then I don't want their approval. And it took me so long to realize that. And it made me nervous. Like, I thought maybe, I'll lose some figure skating fans, or maybe, you know, be judged on the ice differently. And I had all these negative going on. But in reality, it's the opposite. I've gotten so much love, so much support. I went to nationals and 4 continents, and I had never felt like more of myself on the ice.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And this is another part I wanted to see with you, like, how is the support from the USA team, and like other figure skaters, your federation, and your coaches, and when you went to compete, like the public in general, right? Like, how was all this situation?
I mean, it was great. A lot of people in the figure skating community already kind of knew about me because I was never very extremely private about it. I was always like, if someone knows, they know. But no, I had, like, at nationals, I had so many people come up to me in the hotel lobby, like, and it'd be people of all ages. Like, there was like a 15-year-old girl who just ran up to me and gave me a huge hug, and her mom, like she, finally came out to me after seeing your article, and it gave her like the strength to do this. And you know she had been suffering silently until she finally got the courage to say something, and we've been able to rekindle like their mother-daughter relationship. It was, and she was crying. She almost made me cry. I was just,
That is really touching, yeah.
yeah, it was a lot. And like, we have this thing called like Friends of Figure Skating breakfast at nationals every year, and
Uh-huh.
there's this these two women who came up to me, and they were probably like, late 40s, and there were a couple who were talking to me and saying how it's so great to see someone in figure skating that like uh, represents what they are, and they were incredible ladies. One of them works for NASA, like just brilliant people, and to just see that and see the acceptance and love and support was something else. It was great.
Yeah, that's a very inspiring story, and probably kind of gave you even more strength
Oh, for
and make you feel like it was worth to be yourself
hmm
out there. And yeah, it's really interesting. So let's say out of all this, so how did you in general deal with the reaction of coming out, like, or this article, and like what will you consider that it was good, bad, was something that you can take out of this, that it was positive? Of
hmm
course, maybe there's something that you think you got some bad reactions, but what will you take with you that you are happy about?
It was how I described it. It was overwhelming in the best way. So I was overwhelmed by how much was happening, but it was all positive. People were so encouraging and just really happy that I was able to just put myself out there and just be me. And like I said, like at Four Continents and some of nationals, like you could see the difference in me on the ice, on
Yeah.
and off, just feeling more comfortable, feeling like I didn't have to act a certain way, that I don't know, I felt like I wasn't hiding anything anymore. And
Hmm.
that was, I feel like, one of the biggest changes after coming out was just that feeling of raw honesty and just being able to relax and just be me.
Hmm. So this will be like pretty much like a very positive experience
Very
for you.
much.
Yeah. Which is really inspiring, and especially with all these stereotype that we were talking about of the figure skating world, and there's not that many voices out there of a female skater. um, I think this can really help a lot of people to normalize and to be more inclusive in all the aspects of the figure skating world. And yeah, so this is a really interesting story, and kind of like similar to Guillaume as well. He was telling us yesterday that he felt that support from the skating community. Of course, there's some negativity always around there, is the noise, but in general, that he was feeling great about it, and it's really for me that I've launched this project for all of us to get together. I think it's really great that you guys are participating, telling your story right here, and like really motivated. Like I'm like really happy that you guys are like so happy that this is happening, and that all of us are like feeling this support from each other, right? So yeah, I think what I would like to go to is a few questions that people left here. Let's see what the last questions we have here. Um, so let's see. I think we still have time to answer a few of them. Related to your family, let's pick this one. How do you come out to your family? And how is, let's say, how is the support? I don't know how I hide this again.
So, it's a funny story because it was definitely an accident. Uh, I wasn't exactly trying to hide myself too much. Um, because I had known that I felt differently than most people did for female people did. Like I had an attraction to both at a very young age, since I was like 12, 13. I was like, I knew something was up.
Yeah.
And I was always very aware of that. So when I was about 16, I was 17, I think. And I had gone on a date with a girl that I really liked. And my sister had known. With my sister, I don't even know if I really came out. She kind of figured it out. We're very close. So she just,
There's
it just,
probably no need when you're in that situation to like come out because she understands you, right?
yeah, we're around the same age. And so it just kind of, I don't even remember a specific time that I said something. But anyways, I was about 17 and I had told her I was going out on a date, and I got back from it and I was in my parents' house, and she was in the living room and I was in the kitchen. My mom was in the kitchen as well, but she couldn't see that she was in there as well. So I'm not going to use her real name, but she said, "Hey, how was your date with, let's say, like, I'm trying to come up
How
with
was your day with your girl?
my girl,
Friend?
with a girl." And she said it super loud. And said, "Did you kiss her?" And I was just like,
Oh my gosh.
and then my mom looks at me and I look at her and I'm just like, I'm like,
Boom.
I get embarrassed even if it's like, it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl or anyone. You know, I was 17. I was like, ha! Like, I just got,
Yeah, I know.
I bet you I was just bright red. And I just did, I was like, oh no.
So
And
from that point, how was your mom's reaction and your parents'
yeah.
situation? Like, you had a conversation afterwards? Did you felt were they supportive right away, or they were a little reactive about it?
Yeah. So, you know, growing up, I live in Texas. So it's a very, luckily I'm in Dallas where it's a bit more, but it's a more conservative, like typically hetero area.
Yeah.
Very, not very, it's not like LA. Let's just say that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So luckily over the last couple of years, obviously all over America, people have become more accepting, but it's still something that's a bit new to be normalized. So we kind of just sat down. I explained to her. We talked for a bit. You know, it took her a while to understand my thought process and where I was coming from on this. And she eventually kind of got it. It took a while to like kind of get the idea in her brain that that's like, you know, oh, this isn't just something, this isn't just a face, you know, that's something that's very stereotypical with bi and pan females is, oh, it's just a phase. Oh, it's just like she likes, you know, is just trying to figure out what she
Yeah.
wants.
And again, we go back to the stereotype
Mm-hmm.
idea of like, that's just like a fluctuous time, right? But yeah, so but after all this process with your parents, so your sister right away, obviously your friend,
Mm-hmm.
she was like part of it and like supportive and like, you know, completely open about it. But your parents through this process, by the end, like right at this moment, you feel their support. That's like, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, my mom.
So this is a positive thing as well, that, you know, it some people needs to go through a process with this, but the most important part is that you can count with your family support, I would say.
Yeah.
And okay, let's check a few more. So there is a question here which I think is really related to the competition, but I have it on my computer. How do you overcome a mental block or fear?
Ooh. See,
If you had experienced that, I guess.
oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I still struggle with it today. I've definitely gotten better at it, especially over the last couple months. Uh, just at being able to overcome things and take step by step processes to be able to, I want to say, like, move on to the next thing. I try not to let myself get stuck in negativity. Um, you know, for, let's say if it's a competition, like you're in, just your head's just locked up because you're nervous or you're,
Yeah.
distracted at a competition. Like a big thing I try to do is just, it's so typical and everyone just breathe, like just breathe. But it really
Because
does.
the competition at this level is like a lot of pressure, and yeah, it's it's not just a physical training. We also need this mental training, right?
Yeah, like you can go into a competition in the most perfect physical shape, be able to land everything perfectly, but go in there in the wrong mental state, whether it's because of competition nerves or just your mental health, it's not going to go great. Like, you got to make sure that you're in the right mindset before going out to compete at this level.
Yeah, and I think we can link this to also your story, and like as you were saying before, when this all happened and then you competed at nationals and 4 continents, you felt more freedom. There
Mm-hmm.
was less of like this blocking of yourself, and so I think it's a positive thing that it affects you also for your mental health, and also for your strength for when you go to compete, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much it's related to that as well. And then lastly, let's get this one. In figure skating, there are a few high-profile LGBT people on display. What is your hope for the future, I guess?
So, my hope is that by coming out and having, this Instagram, even having us tell our stories, that we can help people feel comfortable enough to be able to be as open as they want with themselves and not feel like they have to hide. I know so many figure skaters still that are part of this community and are either too afraid, and not afraid as in that, oh, they should do it and come out, like they have reason to be, or just not comfortable with being able to come out and be their true selves. And I want them to be able to feel the same weight lifted off their shoulders as we do.
Yeah,
You know?
and it makes a lot of sense, and I think the more we bring our stories, the more safe they're going to feel, because we want to put it out there that there's been a lot of positive reaction after Guillaume's story, after your story, your experience competing afterwards. And I think it's important to throw this out there for them to listen, and to, that they can be their true self.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's been a great chat, and I've learned a lot with you, and I think we all were really expecting to hear your story. Like, we did not really know the whole thing, and it's a great contribution of yours to the community, to SkateProud, and I'm really happy that I can count on you. You're part of the team, so stay with us, because I will get back to you soon. And thank you very much. If you wanna say a message to the people who's watching right now, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Please just feel free to reach out to me. This Instagram, big. If you're ever feeling anything, the Trevor Project is a fantastic page to go to if you're part of the LGBTQ community and need some mental health advice or some type of support. Just be there. There's somewhere that you, a safe space to be. So I hope that you guys are staying healthy, happy, and safe. Thank you.
That is so great, Amber. Well, thank you so much for having this conversation, this chat with us today, and stay safe, healthy, and training for whenever the season is ready to be clear and know where we're going, right?
All hope.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, thank you so much. Okay. Have a great day.
you too.
Bye.